Cactus Golf Podcast. No warm-up this time. We're straight into it.
It was welcome in.
Nope, we're going straight into it this
man.
week. Got to keep you on your toes. Welcome in. Episode number 26, Cactus Golf Podcast. 26. We're exciting times, man. It's warming up out there. People are golfing. We got Masters here in a couple weeks.
Next week.
Yeah.
It's really close.
Yeah.
It's
So
really close.
We are in exciting times here, unless you are a LIV golfer and want out.
That would not be exciting times for them.
So,
I agree.
yeah, we're going to get into our first segment here. It kind of came out, reported that, the LIV contracts were exorbitant when they signed up for their signing bonuses and whatnot. It was huge numbers, right? And so it was reported that if you want to leave, it's been rumbled that a couple of players are kind of having cold feet or whatever, want to get out of LIV. I don't know if that's true or not, but, whatever. And they're saying that to get out of these contracts, these players are going to have to play up to 4 times their signing bonus. 2 to 4 times. 2, 3, 4. It might be dependent on, who it is. It might not even be true at all. I don't know. But that's big numbers.
Yeah, I think I saw that Brooks Koepka at $100,000 signing bonus.
$100 million.
I'm sorry, $100,000. Gee, $100 million signing bonus. He had to pay freaking almost $500 million possibly to leave.
I can tell you one thing for sure.
What's that?
Phil Mickelson is not leaving.
No.
No. His would almost be $1 billion. I think he was like $200 million, I think.
Phil is not going anywhere. Phil is in for the long haul. But we were talking about this on one of the other episodes that like some of the contracts are people might be expiring pretty soon.
So yeah, I had some other notes here. So yeah, so the reports are to leave. The players would have to pay up to 4 times their signing bonus. Reports are that the contracts were through 2025. I'm sure that might fluctuate between who it was. Cam Smith signed a little later. Maybe his date's a little different. I don't know.
Taylor Gooch just expires this year.
Really? Okay.
So that'll be a 2-year contract.
That'll be interesting. Yeah. So I'm sure they fluctuated. And so my initial thought was when I saw this, like, no way. Like that's just a reporter kind of taking something out of context or something. But then I was like reading more into it and whatnot, and listening to some videos, and so I thought maybe it's possible, obviously, but I'm also thinking like, it's almost I can guarantee you that these golfers like knew about it.
Yeah,
like, there are some people like hinting at like, oh, they weren't aware. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah,
people will have good lawyers, right?
Yeah.
They don't just gloss over details like that. So I guarantee they knew about it. And 2, it's one of those things that they obviously knew about it when they were getting into it. And so Brooks came out. He's like, yeah, like that. All the press conferences are asking him about the contracts. Do you have any regrets or anything like that? Like, no, I knew what I was getting into. Is what they're saying, of course. So I think it's kind of a catch-22. It's like, okay, they knew about it. So it's like if they knew about it, they obviously didn't have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. If they were gonna have obviously the buyout option, they were gonna be worried about the buyout option. Because they obviously signed these, they knew the signing bonus was huge. Yeah. So if they wanted to hedge their bet, they would have been like, okay, I'll do a smaller signing bonus. That way, the 2 to 4 times isn't that bad, right? Mm-hmm. So if I, feel bad about it, I can just leave, boom, pay it out. So I'll take like a, $20 million signing bonus. That's still a lot. I mean, pay out. Yeah, but I'll take a $5 million signing bonus, something like that, and like hedge my bet. That way, if it sucks, I'll just leave, come back to PGA or something.
Unless
like
they were like, I'm just going to ball out in this league, make a ton of $1 million, and then I'll just go ahead and break the contract and then go back. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, just play out the contract. Yeah. I don't know if they'd be able to break it. But yeah, I think, I'm sure they knew about it for one. I think it's a crazy number. They definitely knew about it. They knew what they were getting into. So, I mean, I don't think they're worried about it, now. I think they're still making plenty of money. The main thing is a schedule, too. Like, they're not worried about playing 50 tournaments or whatever. They're playing 14.
I would be shocked to hear if someone breaks it, to actually see someone break this contract.
Oh, no way.
I would be shocked. No way. It would blow my mind. And I don't think
it would be one of the lower level guys, but maybe. Even that, they would have to be worth it. For one, I don't think they're guaranteed to go back to the PGA.
That's what I'm saying. What, are this PGA going to take them back?
I think they would, but you're not guaranteed it by any means. Yeah. And 2, it'd have to be worth it to be able to. You have to be good enough to, like, you think you can make it back on the PGA. Other DP, whatever.
They'll probably toss them back into like Corn Ferry and work their way back up again.
Maybe
go back to square one, go back to Q school.
And yeah, you wouldn't be qualified for these designated events. you'd have to work your way back up to getting to qualify for those and the majors, of course. So I would think it definitely won't be the higher players because the buyout would be way too much. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen. And I'm thinking the lower level is probably more likely, but still not likely either.
Yeah, I if this is even true.
Yeah, I mean, again,
sounds good, but I don't think this is going to be any but relevant at all.
My first thought was probably a reporter taking it out of context, but I think it could be true because LIV, they don't want to just pay $100 million and have a guy split after one tournament or something.
For sure.
So I can see that.
I mean, that's like any person that starts their career, they start a new job, and they give them a signing bonus. In every single contract, it says you have to work a certain amount of time. Yeah. Otherwise, you pay it back.
Yeah.
Usually, you just pay it back. Not I never seen two to four times they make money on you. I never seen that before, so this is not abnormal. I mean, I guess that part of it is the times you have to pay back is a little abnormal, but it's not abnormal to see stipulations like this for major contracts. So
it was interesting. I'm sure we'll have more come out about it. I don't think it's going to change anything though. It's just going to be a talking point for a little bit. There to answer some questions they already have at press conferences and whatnot.
Things were getting quiet, so they wanted to throw something else out there. I mean,
they are talking about, again, beyond the next couple of years. I saw they're going to add some more teams, add more players, of course, as they keep going on. Max, I think, of like 14 teams, though. And they're talking about like relegation and how, they're going to be able to have more players to pick from. People have to, if they don't perform a certain way, they have a point system where they have to play their way onto the teams or the contention to be signed by teams and whatnot. I did see LIV was also pressuring teams to get more sponsorships, so the teams have like managers. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No,
they have managers that they're trying to get sponsorships. So the only team that has a sponsorship is Fireballs right now, and it's some like oil company in Mexico, a Mexico-based oil company.
It's interesting. And
it's
weird because there's never a team aspect to golf besides Ryder Cup and President's Cup, but everyone likes those events, obviously, and Olympics, obviously too. But I kind of like this. I kind of like having this little aspect. I like we talked about before. I wish the teams weren't so non-diverse because, like we talked about before, like last episode, I think it was like you have like.
All the Australians are together. All the Americans, all the English.
Yeah, so like, I wish they were a little bit more diverse. And
my thing is, I wish the team. It's hard to keep up with at the same time as the stroke play. So like the team, like the players in the stroke play, are like the team, but it's hard to keep up with both at the same time, like at a tournament.
Yeah, but I think like we talked about before, LIV is really just really pushing the team aspect.
Right. So I think they need to do some kind of match play thing.
Yeah,
that would probably help if they separated like one of the events or a couple of the events weren't individual. It was like only match play, and like teams kind of played, and they kind of like a President's Cup, Ryder Cup.
Well, they played that aspect, I think, for their championship last season when they ended it. It was like match play, stroke play. It was a couple different ones.
So I think they should do more of that.
I agree. I totally agree, but and they're definitely pushing. Even if you go to their website, if you go to standings, the first thing it defaults to is teams. Yeah. You have to change it out to go to players.
I mean, they have to. I think,
it definitely
again, Daniel Rappaport, and we reference him a lot, he does a lot of content, obviously, for Barstool. He was saying that, like, for LIV to survive, like, the team thing has to work. Mm-hmm. I agree with that to an extent. I mean, I think they do need to push teams. I don't think it's, like, dire straits if it doesn't exactly work, but I do think they need to, and because I think that's the biggest differentiator from the PGA. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But they have the 54-hole shotgun, all that. But I think that is one of the things that they are trying to make their mark on. But I think that's one way.
And this is like kind of like harder to do because like I started thinking of like MLB. Like every year the Cubs have a Cubs convention where like all the fans can go to, like meet the players, sign autographs, buy stuff, and everything. That's a little bit harder because it's in Chicago. It's in one area versus these teams are kind of... Right now, there's, like we said, they're Australian and all that. It would be cool to kind of see that team aspect grow to develop such a huge, like, strong fan base.
Maybe that's why they are doing local teams. That would make sense, actually.
It could be. It could be. It would be cool to just see that. Like you see people every day in a normal day in life wearing jerseys. Like with their favorite teams.
So like you get like the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, right? They had the parade.
Yeah.
With like the cliques. I think the cliques are the English team with Ian Poulter. As the captain. If they won, they kind of parade in England somewhere or something.
Yeah, like
that'd be sweet.
That stuff would be kind of cool. Like it would be hard to do it so early on because the team aspect's still kind of a little new to everyone still. They're trying to figure out. But it would be honestly pretty nice to see something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we can talk forever about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep. We got the preview coming up as well for this week in Orlando. But let's go ahead and do the recap of the match play, the last ever WGC event, last ever. Yep. The Dell Match play. It's moving to a Tiger Woods course, I believe, next year.
That was not the WGC. It was something else. It was a different tournament.
The match play is ending, right?
Correct.
So I think it's still the Dell tournament, but it's going to be at. I think what I saw was that it's at the Tiger, one of Tiger's course. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
But last match play event. They definitely the overwhelming fan support is to keep a match play event. Overwhelming. Everybody wants to keep a match play event, at least, if not more. So I know there were suggestions about making the final rounds of the FedEx Cup match play. I don't know if I like that. I don't know about that. I think I'd like to keep
They're talking about what you said?
The final rounds of the FedEx Cup match play. I believe I saw floated out there. I don't know if I like that, but definitely just keep a match play event.
Everyone likes it.
Everybody wants it. The ratings have to be good for it. I can't imagine they're bad. It's really exciting. We had some really, especially this year, it was the first year, I have my notes here, first time in the 25-year history that both semifinals went to a playoff hole. So we had Sam Burns and Scotty Scheffler go to playoff hole. I think that one was like 4 holes long. 4-hole playoff.
20-some holes they played.
And then Cam Young and Rory went to a playoff hole. It was only 1 hole long, though. And then, Sam Burns ended up running away with it in the final over Cam Young. But it was, really exciting.
So the new Tiger course is actually the Worldwide Technology Championship because last season it was at Mayakoba.
Oh, that's the
Worldwide. That's the one that's Tiger's going to. So I thought it was originally the same thing which you just said. But yeah, it was
actually going back to that. Mayakoba can't be Mayakoba because it's now a LIV.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's the reason why they're changing it to Tiger's new course now.
That makes sense. But so go back. Yeah, Sam Burns wins. We kind of glossed over that. Won over Cam Young in the final. In the final, he had a perfect 7-0 record. Didn't lose once this weekend. It's his 5th win on tour now. He jumps into the top 10 in OWGR. Justin Thomas fell out. He's 11th now. First time in 25 years, both semifinals were a playoff hole. It was a good win. Sam Burns, I kind of had a feeling. I bet on him in betting corner a couple weeks ago. I thought he was going to bring it around in the Florida turn, but he didn't quite do it. He did it in the first event in Texas.
Yep. So he's played 11 events this season. He's had 4 top 10s, and that was obviously his first win of this season.
Does that count as a top 10? Is that a thing?
It does. Yep. So even if you have it also counts as the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also counts as making the cut.
Does it count as a top 50?
It goes all the way up. Yeah, it goes all the way up. So, but then I wanted to see too is I was in Austin during this. Did not attend the actual tournament, but I was watching the recap later that day, and I saw that Cam Young shot a 27 on the front 9. Did you see that?
I think I saw that.
9 consecutive threes.
What round was that?
First round.
First round.
On Wednesday. Yep. He saw 9 consecutive threes on the
good?
front 9. It's pretty great. It's actually, it is the second best 9-hole scoring ever in a PGA tournament. The record is actually a 26. It's held by Corey Pavin. Pavin? I don't know. In the 2006 U.S. Bank Championship in Milwaukee, which is another fun fact. I played that course when I was in Milwaukee. And fun fact, did not shoot a 26 on the
62.
I think it was. I shot a 26 after the first 4 holes, if I remember correctly, probably. But yeah, it was really interesting to see that. And then they were interviewing him after that first round and to see if he even noticed. And he said his caddy mentioned that he picked it up pretty quick that this was happening, but of course they never talked about it. So it was kind of cool to see.
All right. Well, yeah. So a couple other things here. Yeah, Rory defeats Scotty in the consolation for third place. John Rahm fails to make it out of the group stage.
Lost right to Ricky early on too.
No bueno. Yeah. So, but I think he'll be fine. It's just probably a blip there. He'll be fine coming into Masters. He'll take the week off and prepare for that.
Are you ready for two truths and a lie? You got anything else?
Let's do it.
All right. So current record is, since we started keeping score, you've got it right once and you have got it wrong twice. So see if you can tie it up here. First one. He is in the top 10 money list this PGA season. He is 28 years old, and he loves to fish and hunt. Where's the lie?
I know he lives in Louisiana. I saw that, so I could see the fish and hunt. He definitely hunts. I know that. Let's see. 28. Oh, damn it. He's somewhere around there. He's got to be at least, give or take 1 year, 27 to 29. 28 exactly. I don't know. Top 10 money list. He's had, you said 4 top 10s, I think, this year so far already. 10 money list. I'm going to go, he's not 28.
He is not 28 years old.
Even it up, baby.
But you were wrong, though, about trying to guess his age. It's not part of the question, though. He is actually 26.
Oh, okay. So give or take 2 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's kind of crazy. I didn't think he was that young. I thought he was.
I was thinking 28 was honestly almost right on the dot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, it might be like 27.
Yeah, I did not expect that. But anyway, so he's actually number 6 on the PGA's money list this year. He is about. He's earned about $5.3 million, and he's like $300,000 short of Rory. So he's about to get in the top 5. And yes, he does love to fish and hunt. He is from Louisiana.
Yeah, I knew he lived in Louisiana, so I knew that was probably a good bet.
Yes, it's a good one. All right, you tied it up. 2-2.
That's a streak. We're going streaking now, baby. 2-0 in the last 2. We're getting hot. We're getting hot.
Yes, that is correct. Let's see.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump to the LIV Orlando preview. This is going to be at in Orlando, like I said, LIV Orlando, Orange County Nationals Crooked Cat course. So I actually told you earlier today, I played not the Crooked Cat, I don't believe. I can't remember exactly what course I played, but I did an internship that was based in Orange County National. It's where the
world's largest driving range.
That's where that is, but also
PGA headquarters.
The merchandise.
The PGA show.
PGA show. There you go. That's where that's held as well. Yeah, in the world's largest, or kind of the nation's largest. I don't know if it's the world's largest driving range.
Which is interesting now that all that is held there, and LIV's playing there.
Yeah, whatever.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I played not this course, but I don't remember what course I played. The Tooth, maybe. No, that's the executive course. Maybe not. I don't remember. It was back a long time ago.
It was probably the Tooth. I have no idea.
It's called the executive course, so I don't know.
I'm just messing with you.
I don't remember, but I played one of the courses there. I ate quite a bit at the Orange 83 Pub and Grill. I ate there almost every day of my internship while I was there.
What was your favorite thing to eat?
And it was a pretty basic grill, honestly. It was like probably a quesadilla and a burger.
Quesadillas are pretty good. Yeah.
I think the quesadilla and burger were the go-tos when I was there. But it was a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly. I just remember the course being really nice. That was it. I don't remember any specifics, so I don't have any details to give you.
Fair enough.
It's a par 71. The Crooked Cat is 7,297 yards. Again, we don't have a previous winner, but we have the betting favorite on DK at least, so it's Dustin Johnson plus 1,000.
Yep.
Again, LIV has their power rankings written by Mike McAllister on their website. Peter Uihlein is the number 1 power ratings there of 4 aces as well, so he's the same team as Dustin Johnson. So that's what we got for our favorites. Anything you got there?
Just a $25 million purse. Obviously, same as is normally structured. $20 million goes towards the individual side of the competition, and $5 million to the team aspect of it. I wonder how long until they kind of start switching that a little bit for pushing teams that much.
Yeah, I think I was reading about that, like I said earlier. And I think they are. I don't know if they're going to switch the purses around, but I think they are going to reallocate. I saw. I know they're talking about once LIV becomes profitable, maybe at some point, then the teams and players will be able to profit share. If that ever comes to be, whenever that comes to be, if the league comes, and I know again they were talking about wanting the teams to push like marketing and getting sponsors and pushing their sales of their apparel and whatnot, like we saw at the course and their merchandise stores and whatnot. Because I think I don't know if they split profit or because a lot of the teams are like owned technically by LIV.
Yes.
75% of the teams, I don't know, so 25%, I don't know which teams they are owned by like I guess the captain maybe.
Interesting.
And so that's kind of where it gets kind of funky there as far as payouts and whatnot. But it's
they should have like I know if I try and go to like just that one team we talked about the range goats for LIV, they don't have their own website. You would think they would have they should have their own website to sell their own stuff on.
They all have, I don't know if all, but I know at least, I haven't checked, but I've seen several of the teams have their own Twitter accounts and whatnot. They're like retweeting and whatnot, highlights. But yeah, I know they're pushing Twitter at least a little bit.
That's interesting. I also just see some our ending clothing. What is this? I see some hats now here. Go ahead, keep talking. Sorry.
But yeah, I know we've mentioned several times the big names have been kind of letting us down and letting LIV down lately, not performing very well. I think they would definitely stand to benefit from some better ratings if they had some bigger names performing well. So I'm looking at the big names this week to kind of make a comeback. None of them were really in the top 10 last week or the week prior, I don't think. So I'm looking for Bryson. I've picked him to win both last tournaments. I'm looking for top 5, not win, top 5.
Yeah.
This course is a little more open, a little more friendly to the big drivers, a little more open on the fairways.
Not rush hour. It's okay.
Fairways. So I think, and then I'm looking for Bryson top 5. I'm looking for DJ to win this one. A couple big bombers off the tees to perform well this week and kind of get their groove back prior to the Masters again. Like these guys are playing the Masters too. They got to get in form for the big week.
Yeah, I actually saw. So I'm finding this range goats stuff. These are hats, and someone said, "You imagine." Bubba walking around the grounds of Augusta National in his greens jacket and a range goats LIV hat on. That's gonna be.
That is another one though. They are talking about like the LIV players are going to wear their uniforms at the Masters. They're going to match.
Interesting.
So that's going to be funky too. Because I didn't like a lot. Like some of the uniforms they wear were kind of odd. I thought. I think they should give a little more. I don't know. Change the scheme of their color scheme or whatnot to like make it look a little less kind of just like jaded. I don't know. It looks like they're kind of boxed into a corner in what they're wearing. I think it could be a little more free. But I think it'll be interesting to see them.
I actually saw. I was out at Putting World last weekend. Yeah. And I actually saw a guy wearing a LIV polo for the first time ever in public. Yeah, I've seen some people wear LIV hats sometimes, but the first time I've seen someone actually wear a polo. Yeah. So that was interesting. So, did you say who you think's gonna win?
I said DJ's gonna win.
Okay, so the betting favorite. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm taking the chalk there.
Fair enough. I'm going Mito Pereira for this one. He is currently number 9 in the individual points contest for this season so far. He's had 2 top 25s and 1 top 10. So he has been in contention-ish, but they definitely need a big name, like we just said earlier, to win. They need something, and I wonder if they're kind of pushing these golfers. You're like, get this going a little bit here. So I'd be surprised to see some. I shouldn't say no name, but not as well recognized.
Last week it was Danny Lee.
2 weeks ago, but yeah.
2 weeks ago, last tournament. And then prior to that, it was Charles Howell, I believe. Charles Howell, the third one in Mayakoba.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, so yeah, again, this week we got Valero Texas Open. That's, in San Antonio. That's the Oaks course, TPC San Antonio. Previous winner, JJ Spawn. He's actually done some things this year already. He was contending in Hawaii. I think it was the Sony Open. Then Rahm ended up winning it, but Spawn was up there contending that whole week, and then he ended up making the round of 16 this past week at Dell Match play, doing some good things there. This is a par 72, 7,438 yards, $8.9 million purse.
Previous winners are kind of all over the place. You've got some
kind of sorta. I saw it was like teens, but the 2 previous to last was like 18 and 20 under. Was it?
Yes, 18 and 20, and then you got some 17s. You got an 8 under. So I'm thinking right around. I think the winning number is 12 under this week.
12. I was thinking like 15, 16.
12 under is what I'm thinking. Obviously, field very mediocre this week. Couple big names in there. Couple big people trying to secure their Masters.
It is the last chance, to qualify for the Masters next week. I think basically there's only one spot open for the winner. I don't think anybody can crack the top. Well, no, it's closed. Yeah, the top 50 cutoff was closed prior to this week. Yeah. So, it's only one spot open. So, Ricky, Fowler is seeking to avoid missing 3 straight majors. So, he needs to come out with the dub to make his first Masters in a few years. Mm-hmm. So, he's playing well this year. He's playing a lot better with a little tweak to his swing and some different. I think he made a caddy switch. He's made a swing tweak. So I think he's got a good shot. I don't know if he's going to win it, but he's got a good shot, I think, with a weak field.
I agree. You ready for predictions?
Yeah.
That actually is my prediction.
Ricky
Fowler.
I think like most of the money in Vegas is on him.
Yeah.
Just of course.
I've got so far this season he's played in 11 events. He's got 3 top 10s and 1 runner-up. Number 59 in the OWGR. He's played this course in particular 3 times, and he's got 2 top 25 finishes. So nothing crazy stellar. I think with the added pressure of missing another major, trying to secure that last Masters bid, he's been playing well recently. I'm feeling a Ricky Fowler victory this week.
Fair enough.
Really hoping to see it. Everyone likes Ricky.
I'm taking a big stab this week, and my pick is always going to mirror my betting corner pick. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to go away from it. That's lame. Yeah. So I'm going taking a big stab here. It's going to be my outright winner in betting corner, Charlie Hoffman. He's won in 2016. He won it before. He likes Texas. He performs well in Texas. Mm-hmm. So I'm going Charlie Hoffman. He's gonna make the Masters. He's gonna beat the big dogs in the field.
I told you the winning score was going to be 12 under. His winning score in 2016 was 12 under.
Was it? Yep. Well, it's going to be 15 this year.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see. That's interesting. That is.
It's a big stab.
You're throwing a dart while you're blindfolded, spinning around in circles.
It's like the dizzy bat.
Yes.
Throwing a dart after a dizzy bat.
That is very true. Very true. So, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a weak field. Week before the Masters, there's a lot. We could be very surprised. Yeah. We could be very, very surprised. So, I think this season's been somewhat kind of predictable, but some tournaments not
pretty predictable. Yeah, we've had Scotty, defend his titles at a couple places already.
Rahm's had a couple victories.
Rahm's had three victories, I think. Yeah. Rory's been up and down, but he made the switch with the blade. He went with the right kind of putter and kind of got back into favor.
Saw your post on that. Someone commented, it was like, I wish I could blame my mallet as the reason why I had 3 putts. That was pretty funny. All right, let's go betting corner. We're going to have a crazy long episode.
I think we both went minus 100.
We did. Yeah. We both went minus 100 last week.
Man, I was looking at, I bet the Punta Cana and Punta Cana. Akshay, it was the most frustrating thing. He shot even the first round. And my other bet, Eric Van Rooyen, was like top 10 first round. I'm like, all right, Van Rooyen, he can pull it out for me. Second round, Van Rooyen goes like +2, but Akshay goes like 9 under. I'm like, oh, sweet. He's like top 3. I'm like, hell yeah, here we go. We're cashing. Even. Like, how do you go 9 under one round and then shoot like even basically the other 3? What the heck?
I don't know, man.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. I was mad too. I had a triple chance and I had Scheffler and Rory in it. Yeah. So if they would have advanced and played each other, that'd have been a guaranteed winner for me. So that one sucked. Jason Day kind of actually stuck out a little bit though. He
did
played,
he make it the final 8? Or 16?
He made it into I think it was the final 8.
I thought it was 8.
It was the final 8.
Yeah.
And he lost to Scotty. So and it was somewhat pretty close too. So it is what it is. We'll move on. But the current standings are I am minus 411, you're minus 651. I do have to say, I think this is the first time we got into the 6s.
Yeah.
I think so. We just can't get into the triple
If we get to 1,000, we might have to like reset it.
Yeah, we might get pretty sad here. We ain't resetting anything. We're just gonna, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out a new strategy. I have 5 picks. How many do you have?
5.
I don't remember who went first last time.
I went first last time.
I'll go. This man does well in small, weaker fields. He's the man of this season. He's Taylor Montgomery.
What the heck?
Top 10, plus 280, 31 units.
Top 10?
Yep. Taylor Montgomery obviously had a stellar start to the year. The rookie, possibly rookie of the year, maybe. Got into some designated events, some stronger fields, kind of dwindled back a little bit. I think this is going to be his breakout again. Possibly, I almost wanted to pick him outright, but I did not. So, don't want to double dip into some of these picks.
Wasn't he like the Vegas native?
Yes.
Wasn't he?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Well, my first pick is, again, referenced earlier, JJ Spawn. JJ Spawn, we're going back-to-back. Not back-to-back exactly. I got him top 5. But yeah, of course, he's already played well here before. I'm going top 5. That's plus 650, 20 units. Again, he's played well this year. I think he can hold his own.
I'm going LIV for my next pick. I'm going Mito Pereira, outright winner, plus 1,400, 10 units. Like we talked about, they got to get a bigger names victory out here. I think Mito secures
14, that's like second or third favorite then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be third or fourth. But
yeah. DJ was plus 1,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going next here, Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin, not Peter Griffin, Ben Griffin.
Or Blake Griffin.
Or Blake Griffin. He didn't make a switch either.
No.
You're going Ben Griffin top 5. That's plus 850, 20 units. So a couple of stats, or really just one stat here, I believe. I thought I had. Oh, just kidding.
Nope, was that he won the NBA dunk contest?
He jumped over a Kia Optima and dunked it. No. Ben Griffin, I think he's got a long shot. He's not really, I don't think, honestly, spectacular about any part of his game. I just kind of like the number.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I got Corey Connors next, top 5, plus 500, 21 units. Did you see the clip that the PGA Instagram account posted of like him and as his wife, I think, or his fiance or his girlfriend reacting to some of like his wins and like some of his putts? It's hilarious. Like her facial reactions are funny to watch it.
She's like surprised or something?
Yeah, like there was one like where he like lipped out a putt and you see her face. She her eyes got real big, thinking he's gonna miss it.
She's like, oh, I can't buy that purse anymore.
And then the putt drains and she goes crazy. It's pretty funny. But I think he's got a top 5 finish this week.
I like Connors, yeah. All right, I'm going next. I'm going a contender for your Rookie of the Year over there, kind of to beat him out, is Thomas Detry, who's had a pretty good year already, like you said, in some smaller other fields before the designated events started coming around. Thomas Detry, top 5. That's plus 1,000, 20 units again. Just got to hit a top 5. Just got to get one in there, and we're good. He's been playing well, and I think he's got it in him.
Next pick, I usually don't do this, but I did this because I like the numbers here a little bit better. I did Ricky Fowler top 5, plus 400, 24 units. So I did say that I did think he was going to be our winner, but I do have a double chance as my next pick that does not include Ricky.
I did the same bet, top 5 plus 400. I did 35 units
for Ricky.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So go ahead.
Last
time we did that, we won.
It was for,
and I got more units because I bet more. So it's gonna be the same.
It wasn't
thing
that
again.
much more though.
It was like 18 units. So you had 102. I got 120.
Yeah, it wasn't too much.
I remember exactly.
All right, my last pick is Hatton and Noren, double chance. Odds are plus 850, 14 units.
So I mentioned I like Hatton a lot. Bet on him last week. He had like a hand thing going on before his first match, and they showed him kind of like trying to shake it off and whatnot, and he didn't perform well. So I'm wondering if that's going to linger over this week. So I didn't touch him this week for that reason.
Touch him. It's his hand. Get it?
Yeah, I didn't.
Speaking of like injuries, Jason Day had vertigo.
Yeah, that was odd.
Yeah. And he was playing well, so not saying that's the reason why he lost, but
it could have been. Or it could have just been he's on the no bet list.
I took him off, man. I told you what. I took him off.
My last one, like I said, Charlie Hoffman outright. Do you know the odds on that?
Charlie Hoffman outright plus.
I had to scroll a bit to find him.
8,000?
13,000, baby.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going 5 units. No, don't need a whole lot.
That still is going to pay out. Nice.
That would, what was I minus 650 something?
651.
I think that would get me to plus 3 units, if I remember exactly right. I'll have to pull up the exact payout.
Wow.
So that, come on, Charlie. That's all we need. All we need is a dub. That's all we need is a dub.
That's all you need. Out of 100 and some odd people, all you need to win.
That's all we need, man.
That's all right. That's interesting.
Why not us? What's that one gif where it's like, why not us?
I don't remember. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing that one.
No, it's not. No, it's look at us. Look at us. It's like the hot wing thing.
Yes, yes.
It's like, look at us. Look at us.
I do remember that one. That one I remember. Not why not us.
No, the why not is the Harry Potter one where he's looking at the ring and he's like, why not? After all, why not? Why shouldn't it be me or something like that? You know,
Jesus.
That's the meme I was thinking. I got them mixed up.
That's all right. All right. Well, we got an interview coming up. It's going to be a little bit longer of an episode, but I wanted to include this interview because we've been having a contest going on Instagram for the Battle of the Brands. We had our finals this week between Grunk Dolfer and Shank It Golf. So if you guys don't know what Battle of the Brands was, we did a small golf business Battle of the Brands. Didn't want to include some of the bigger names out there. Wanted to kind of get more recognition to some of the smaller brands, and it was a good time. There's a lot. People have some actually strong followings.
Yeah, they got some steadfast followers.
Yes, for sure. Which we actually talk about on the interview here coming up in a second on some of the tips that the winner is going to give you guys on how to build in that type of audience and different ideas and how they stay in their lane and their niche. And they do a really good job at it too. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you got anything else?
Enjoy the tournament. See you next week.
Thank you guys for continuing to listen to the Cactus Golf Podcast. Super excited to bring back Nick Bender, one of the founders of Grunk Dolfer and the champion of our Battle of the Brands contest you guys have been following on social media. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, listen, we're the best there is, and we wake up in the morning, we piss excellence and beer, and we're excited to be right here in the podium. You know,
I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know.
I'm not sure what to do with my hand. Car ran real good. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, man.
It was cool
I love
to
that.
see our community come together and get that W because, I mean, there was a lot of good competition that I would consider like brands that are far ahead of us. So to win it, I felt was pretty cool.
Absolutely. I think that's right what you said there, community coming together, because of all the brands, there was a couple other brands too that had a strong, like we were getting DMs if they're sharing the stories and getting their members or their community to vote. The Grunk Dolfer community is strong, man. They are incredibly strong. I think I've just earlier this week for the finals, I think I had like 10, 15 people that were all sharing the post for you guys. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, especially since we're still only, 18 months into this thing, to have kind of like a grassroots, like community like that. That's what we've been trying to cultivate from the beginning, So it's cool to see it put into action because we don't really get to there's not really much else out there where you could really see, hey, how's my community stack up against, these other ones. So to get that, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. How do you think you build a community like that on social media? Because like you can see large brands that have mass amounts of following just because they're a well-known brand, but like even on some of these brands, and I'm not going to like call any of these certain ones out, but like you'll see like comments.
I'll call them out. Just kidding.
You'll see that there's like not a lot of comments on them, right? Like you'll see that they got a large following because they're a big brand, but like no one really engages with them besides liking the post.
I actually think I have a kind of a unique thought process on this, and I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but okay, so there's brands in our space that came up pre like iOS changes. If you remember, like a couple years ago, iOS completely purged a lot of how Facebook can advertise to people. Yep. And the people that came up in that were literally, could flip a switch on and may be making $100K a month. all they were having to do was just pump out polos, pump out polos, pump out polos. So what they didn't have to do was focus on building brand awareness, building a community, or building quality of their product. It was just like, oh, people were starting to buy these fancy polos. I mean, Bad Birdie kind of, sparked it. And then all these other guys that popped up that are doing very well. And I have a lot of admiration for it. Where we have started to come up 18 months ago, all of that is done. Like the wild, wild west of Facebook marketing is over. And so you have to really cultivate a few things. One, a brand identity, which has been like paramount for us. Two, a brand audience. And then three, to keep those people coming back is quality of the product. And I think that's where like those kind of three pillars are where we have been able to build up that community, because, again, you can go onto one of those guys' sites, catch an ad, get a cheap polo, and then are they ever going to buy that again? I don't know, because there's no story behind it. It's just like, oh, cool, this print was great. And then I washed it 4 times and now I don't really want to wear it anymore. So, it's about the back end as much as it is that front end. And I think our back end, no pun intended, is pretty sweet.
I love that. No, I totally agree. And I think the wild, wild west is like not relevant in certain platforms, but it's kind of relevant still a little bit in TikTok. Would you agree? I feel like TikTok, like you can blow up on TikTok. One video.
Yeah. We just had one video get 1 million views this week. Like crazy.
Absolutely wild. And you can blow up just from that one post. But how much of those people that are now you're following are actually continuing to engage with you, continue to have that conversation and becoming a loyal community member?
Well, yeah. And that's why I think it really, I mean, and of course, I'm sure all these brands do this very well, but we're still building out the process to have that back end system. So if we have a video that gets 1 million views on TikTok, okay, how do we get 1 or 2 or 3% of that audience to go to our Instagram, to go to our Facebook, sign up for email marketing or something like that, so that we can capture that audience? Because otherwise, you're right, it's just like 1 million view video literally means nothing to a brand like ours unless you can convert it to a customer. Right.
100%.
And so, it is still Wild West that way, where you can get 1 million views. It's the most random ones that pop off. Like I'll spend 3 hours editing a video and it'll get 500 views. Yeah. And I'll just kind of on a whim do a video that'll get 1 million. And I'm like, this sucks, man.
It's incredibly bizarre on which ones take off and which ones don't. And you never can predict, but it's the consistency that was the most important. I think what you guys do really well too, and maybe I just don't see other brands doing it because I'm not as close to following them as I am with you guys, but you guys do a good well of bringing your community together in person. Like you guys have your events. You have one coming up in May, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
So you guys do a really good job with that as well.
So the first time we talked on a podcast was one of your first podcasts. We were just about to do our December one, right? I think this one, 180 golfers. Again, we sold out in days. We have a 50 to 60 man wait list to get in. And it's, presented by Corona Premier again. We brought on Prime Hydration.
I saw that. That's wild.
So they'll be providing all of the hydration for that. And that is definitely cool affirmation that our community is growing and stuff. And what it's causing us to do on that side is grow those tournaments bigger. Yeah. I just signed a contract for our December event that's going to be a massive golf resort with 2 18-hole courses that will sell out. So it'll be 288 golfers. It's crazy. And we're going to go even bigger. There'll be bigger vendors and more activities. And we're going to do it'll be like a 2-day event. So come out to the resort, stay there, that kind of thing. So
that's amazing. So
you got to come out for that one.
I know, dude. I keep telling every single time I keep saying, and I was thinking too, we were going to drive as I wanted to place an order with you guys. We're going to drive, then load the car up and drive on back to Arizona.
I'll meet you. So that next resort, it's in Palm Desert. So it's not even, it's literally even closer to you.
Yeah.
So that'll be that. Yeah. So again, you're like, we're just trying to elevate that and build that community kind of that was always the plan for those tournaments, was like a grassroots boots on the ground, movement
Correct.
that is, the story of telling everyone that golf is a drinking sport, which is our message that we hammer home. And that's part of our brand identity that we just try to, are trying to grow.
You stay very tried and true to that message too. Like every single piece of content that you guys put out is literally speaks exactly to that. So it's amazing what you do. So really question for you guys, do you have people that fly out to some of your events in person, or is it usually people that are kind of close by in that community?
Most of it's local just because that's how it started. But we do have people coming from, I think someone's coming from Florida, a couple from Texas, believe it or not. And then Northern California people are flying in too. So
that just speaks so much volume, like we were talking about earlier. People that will go out of their way, probably takes a little bit of time off of work, maybe pay for an airline ticket just to be in the presence and with
I think
Grunk Dolfer.
And I hope that's the reason. But I think like if you look at some of the bigger brands that are now running tournaments, like Bob Does Sports, I'm a big fan of those guys. I don't miss one of their videos, but they got into the apparel space in a big way, and I'm sure they're killing it. Their tournament costs $750 to go to. That doesn't include the travel or anything. That's just to be there. And so ours is, $250, but you're getting endless Corona, you're getting a hat and a polo, and a golf at like $150 plus round of golf. So and then that doesn't include all the food, all the raffle prizes, all that stuff. So I think it's just one of those things where we made it a no-brainer to come at the expense of risk to us of like losing money, And so because of that, it's, you make something a no-brainer and you can build it faster. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Do you think in the future you guys will do any events in different parts of the country?
Yeah, dude, my goal, just kind of big picture for these tournaments, is obviously this Palm Desert one is kind of the next evolution. My goal is to do 6 to 8 a year. Wow. And do them in different parts of the country and have a tournament director that's their job. I can kind of pass the reins off because it's a lot of work while you're running, trying to grow a brand and run the actual business. But eventually there will be a tournament director. We'll have relationships with big time sponsors, and it'll just kind of be working itself and be, a movement. Eventually, I just kind of had this idea recently. I want to do, these are called the Super Ram tournaments, right? Yeah. And it's basically open to anybody. We don't go handicap. The winners are flip of it's like, it's one of those where someone comes in low, you never know what happens, whatever. Eventually I want to do I want to call it the Grunk Dolfer Pro Tour, where imagine getting guys, maybe you have to be like a 10 or better, but nothing crazy. Yeah. But like we follow them exactly like a PGA. We mic them up. They have personalities like fucking like wrestlers or guys with personalities. They have a beverage cart that follows them around, or their caddy has some, you know what I mean? Like, and we could really get creative with how we like grunkify a PGA Tour style event.
Yes. And that's what everyone wants, honestly. Like, it's great. I love watching, PGA Tour events, LIV golf events, whatever, in person. I love it. It's a good time. I like watching someone hit a ball where they actually want to hit a ball. But to actually see like an quote unquote amateur or someone who's not as great as a scratch golfer.
Well, I think, and that's the thing, like, think of the most viral golf content that comes out of the PGA is like when Tiger Woods hands a tampon to Justin Thomas. Yes. Like that's what people want to see. Right. So imagine if that kind of banter would, again, like you'd have to have real players. Like they'd have to be good golfers.
Correct.
First and foremost, because people need to see the good golf. Correct. But then if they stay around for that banter and everybody's mic'd up and there's shit talking back and forth, or maybe even bets being placed between the golfers.
Absolutely.
Like
stuff that God actually happens on the weekend when people actually go out and golf. Like
exactly
not this fancy, shirt tucked in, nice pants only, None of that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's got its purpose, but
It has a place.
Yeah, exactly. I love that idea. That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I don't. It's yeah. Hopefully, no one steals it, but it's definitely something that I could see our tournaments evolving to where at the end of a year we do that, where we have a full production company. It's filmed live on YouTube or whatever, and it plays a lot like, I don't know if you saw Barstool Sports did like a miniature golf live at Waste Management.
Yep.
It would play like that, where
Castles
we have
and Coasters, this really random place here in Arizona. I was very surprised.
Yeah. Okay. So they were in your backyard.
Yeah.
So and it was a shit show, but it was live and it was honestly entertaining. So
very much and so.
As long as you could have like live scoring and a few cameras bouncing back and forth between all the teams, like you're good to go. So
very entertaining.
I don't see why we couldn't do that on the media side of our business in the next couple years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I really do. I think that you guys have a really big future ahead of you guys. And I love the space that you guys, you literally stay with what you're doing best. You stay with your community. You do what's best for them. And I love it. I love following you guys and love watching you guys grow. And I'm super excited for you guys in the future.
Thanks, man. We're excited too. And we'll be, no one will take us off of that podium anytime soon. So we're excited to be at the top of the Cactus Club family. And we're going to stay there. So come and take it. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I love it. All right, man. Well, Nick, I'm going to let you go. Before we let you go, let everyone know where they can find you guys on social media, website, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's just grunkdolfer.com or dopepolos.com, whatever's easiest. And we're at Grunk Dolfer on all social medias, no space or nothing. So awesome. Give us a shout.
Awesome. Nick, I appreciate you being on the show, and hope I'll see you soon in the future, and good luck next year on this tournament. I'm gonna get you a trophy. We're gonna find something for you.
Yep, I'll take it, and I'll wear it proudly.
That's right, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for continuing to listen to the Cactus Golf Podcast. If you haven't done so, check out Grunk Dolfer. Check out the website. Give them a little shout out from winning this Battle of the Brands. And make sure you guys like, comment, leave a review, subscribe, all that great stuff. And we'll see you next week.